So, you still want to learn how to drive a manual? Now, let's get to the part where I show you how to do it. Thought that would have worked like in the movies.
I missed it. I'm pissed.
How you doing?
Oh, fantastic.
Got her.
The first thing you want to do is get yourself to a large empty lot so you can do a lot of stop-go practice without worrying about things you might run into. Maybe you're not ready to drive the car yet. So, it's a good idea to have a friend who knows how to drive come out with you so they can help you out. Or, you know, get the car out here to begin with. Now, I like to start slow. So anyway, the first thing I would suggest is to have your car off and just feel the clutch movement. Find a good spot for your foot on the floor as an anchor to help make the movement smooth by using your heel as a pivot. Hello. Just like how the brakes gradually slow down your car if you hold them lightly, if you hold the clutch partially engaged, it will gradually speed up your transmission until the speeds match. Technically, you can put your car in gear with it idling if you move the pedals slow enough. Remember that your clutch uses the same components as your brakes, so your clutch can overheat the same way. This means do not ride the clutch. And try to take breaks every so often when you practice, so it gives it time to cool down. Once you're comfortable with the position for your foot, go ahead and turn the car on so we can try some startups. When your engine is idling, it's at minimum power. In order to transfer rotational energy to the transmission, the engine needs to output a certain amount of torque. The correct way for putting your car in gear is to lightly step on the gas to increase the RPMs, which in turn increases the engine's torque output. You then smoothly release the clutch pedal while giving more gas, and the torque transfers to the transmission, which then allows the car to start rolling forward. So two things need to be happening at once. The engine needs an increasing amount of gas, and the clutch needs to start a slow release. This part is the hardest when learning to drive a manual, so don't get discouraged if you're not good at it initially. What I would do is practice each one by itself. Leave your transmission in neutral, and rest your foot on the gas pedal. Using the slightest amount of pressure, try to increase the RPMs a few hundred. Remember how much force that took from your foot, and then try doing it again, and a few more times. The other thing to do is practice the clutch engagement. The engagement is the first point in the pedal movement when the RPMs actually start to change. To find your engagement, leave your foot off the gas and your other foot all the way down on the clutch. Shift into first gear, and then very slowly, start releasing the clutch pedal until you see the RPMs drop slightly or hear the engine speed lower. You should feel the car barely start rolling forward. Right when that happens, Put the pedal back down to the floor and step on the brakes so that you come to a stop again. Remember that point when you started feeling the engagement and try doing it again. Keep your heel on the floor if able to help with the slow rolling motion to release the pedal. After practicing that a few times, try to combine both the gas pedal and the clutch pedal movements and release the pedal all the way and start driving forward. You are allowed to stall the engine. That comes with learning how to drive a manual. Keep trying. Every time you get the car in first, driving forward, with your foot completely off the clutch pedal, roll forward for a few seconds, and then put the pedal back down to the floor and come to a stop again.
Try again.
Not in a mean sense, but practice. Once you practice a few times, have your car positioned in a good open area like an empty parking lot, and practice going to first and then speeding up and changing to second. The clutch movement now goes like this. Once you're ready to change gears, you push the pedal down while taking your foot off the gas. You then move the shifter down to 2 and you roll on the throttle to bring the RPMs back up as you slowly release the clutch again. You are now rolling in second. These movements are identical for all other gears. Well, thank you for joining me on my mini-series teaching you how to drive a manual. I hope you found this useful and gave you a better understanding of how the system works. That way you can use it to your advantage. Now get out there and go drive your car.
Wow.